Hi guys, it's me, Simple Clapton, back again. Today something a little bit different. Today I'm going to actually show you how to make some homemade Clapton coils. You don't need a lot of stuff, you don't need jig, you don't need anything fancy. All you need is a drill that's got variable speed on it, your wire. Today I'm using 24 gauge canthal and 32 gauge canthal, a pair of snips, obviously to cut the wire, and the bit off the end of a trouser hanger. Most people have them in the wardrobe. They're like little flat bits with sort of rubber on the inside. That's all you need. We'll do a close up of my drill so you can see what's happening. Right guys, so I'm going to do a bit of a close up of the drill. Just makes it a little bit easier to explain. You don't really need any bits for the end of it. Just a normal drill will do. Chuckless is a lot better. It's just easy to work with. And essentially what we need to do is using the thick or the core, like I said, I'm using 24 gauge, you need to pull the reel off, not too long, but you need to make sure you've got a little sort of hook on the end of it, because that's what you're going to lock into the end of your drill to hold it together. So generally, what I would do is, with your first one, you can't really see that because it's a bit blurry, but probably about a foot of wire. I know it sounds quite a lot, especially when you're first starting, but generally a foot of wire is plenty. And then most of these reels have got like a little cut in it. Make sure it's nice and tight in there so it doesn't unravel, and snip it off. So far so good. So, back to the drill. Now what we need to do is get this cable, wire, whatever you want to call it, into the middle of the chuck. And you will have that little bit sticking out the bottom there. So nice and tight in there. So it's like that, coming out the middle of the drill. Just means it's a lot easier. Next, what we're going to do, our camera focuses, is we're going to use a pair of pliers. Any pliers will do. Grab one end of the cable, well, the other end of the cable, pull it tight and drill for a couple of seconds. And it straightens your wire out for you, so it's not bent over and a big massive, well, wire. So, where I find you. There we go. So what we're going to do now is the wire that you're going to be using to wrap around it. In this case I'm using 32 gauge canthal. What I've actually done is, down my hallway, which is sort of up there, I've laid the cable. You can just see the white reel in the distance. It just makes it easy having a little bit of tension on it. What we're going to do is one end of the other end of the thinner cable, or the outer wire, whatever you want to call that, you want to try and force it into the holes or the chuck as best as you can. And as you're doing it, just wind it round very slightly, just like that. So you started off with a little bit of wire on it. At this point, get your trouser hanger. As you can see, I've used this because it's got a few score marks on it. Put it over the wire and the outer core, and obviously you'll have your wire hanging out. At this point, you don't really need to put a lot of pressure on the cable, either cable to be honest, but hold the trouser hanger bit still and just drill. And as you're drilling, it'll pull it all tight for you and keep it tight. And essentially that's it. You just go down, you will feel the trouser hanger sort of push away ever so slightly, and you need to move with it. Obviously keep an eye on the cable that you're wrapping around, because it will come in pretty quickly. You don't want to run out of that. And as you probably noticed, I messed up a little bit when I first started doing it. I held the trouser hanger too tight, and that's what happens. It bunches up and it does about 5 wraps rather than just the one. Practice makes perfect. I'm getting there slowly, and literally all it is just that. It's a lot easier than having to mess around buying jigs or what have you. What I'll do next is I'll put a picture up of the close-up of this so you can see how tightly wound this actually gets, and it is like pro-grade Claptons in my eyes. So I will put a quick picture up next. Right guys, so as you can see from the close-up, you do get some really tight coils out of this. They're really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do a quick whip through of this. It shouldn't take me no more than a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back with you. Right, I've stopped there because I've run out of cable that's unwound. You do go through a hell of a lot of the thinner cable on here, because obviously it's wrapped up more. But once you've done it, what I always do, cut it off but leave a little bit left over, not a lot. Get rid of your kit, and then once you've done that, just zip the rest of the way up. And you'll see it ever so slowly going in. Now all that does, it just pulls it tight at the end of it. And that's it. One very nice, very thin Clapton coil. No mess, no fuss. It works beautifully. Obviously I should have carried on there if I could have been bothered to get up and move the wire a bit more. So I will cut that off and I will make another strip out of that. And then my little vaping friends, that's how you make a very simple Clapton coil. No fuss, no mess, no special equipment, just a drill, which I think I paid £20 for, a pair of snips which were £2 from Maplin's, the wire that any local vape shop should have, and a clothes hanger that is the bane of my life because you can never put any clothes on them. Come in handy when you snap them in half. That's it, make something good out of it. I'll put a couple of close-ups of them ones I've made already because I've done quite a few of them now. I've been experimenting with flamed Claptons, Flaptons and fused Claptons. I've been experimenting with a few different ones. Again, I'll stick all the pictures down below for you to have a look at. These are just something that you could do. Apart from that, if you liked it, stick a thumbs up, you know where to do it. Subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Pleasure as always. Peace.